Alright, hello everybody, it's me, Clock, and we are playing Vile Strangers, a visual novel about talking to strangers with masks on. Great advice, kiddos. Bus stop, 8:45 p.m. Oh, at nighttime as well. A businessman. Ugh. The man next to you at the bus stop covers his nose and waves a hand in your general direction. I just let one rip. Nice. Absolutely vile. Learn to take a shower and use soap for once in your life. Bro. Your eyes twitch at his condescending tone. His voice filled with judgment, which is to be expected considering it's coming from a guy in a fancy suit. Bro? That's my answer, by the way. That's my answer to his accusation. Oh, how flattering. Just what I needed to hear after working 9+ hours. Yeah, maybe I was hitting the gym, man. Thinking tired annoyance before flipping him off when he turns his back to you. Oh, that's the best response, honestly. Fart, flip, fart again. He's still gagging, playing up his disgust as he creates a large amount of distance between you two. Although not going too far so you can still catch the bus you're both waiting for. Alright, I don't want to hear shit from this motherfucker when he's complaining about how I stink. You're taking the goddamn bus. I don't want to hear it, bro. Get a car. It's probably the sort that's never changed a diaper. You're certain of it. Is that me admitting I shit myself? Wait, did I just... You've never changed a diaper before, so obviously you don't know what it's like when you shit yourself. You sigh and lean against the small bench you parked yourself into when you couldn't remain standing any longer. Ah. Have you ever had to shit that bad, chat? That you just can't stand anymore? You holding it in? Lifting your arm, you sniff yourself and then wrinkle your nose. Okay. Maybe I shouldn't have tested the underwear. Twice. The jerk might have a point. You smell like a mix of blueberry slushy with hints of chocolate sundae thrown in. That's me on a good day. Not a bad combination. Bro, I used to work as a barista, and let me tell you, everyone was like, man, you smell like coffee, you smell amazing. All I could smell was rotting cream. It was terrible, I hated life. At least, not until you take into account that the scent mostly stems from someone vomiting all over your poor uniform. You tried to wash off and wring your shirt out in the bathroom sink as best as you could, but why did I let someone throw up on me? Yeah, this shirt's probably coming out of your paycheck. What? It's not even my shirt? Why didn't I just take it off? Why didn't I just put it in the trash? Maybe the smell didn't bother you so much since you've gotten used to it. Currently, you work at Bobby and Bibbles, a family entertainment center that offers arcade games and egregious amounts of greasy food that make your own stomach churn. You know how it's all prepped. Is there also animatronics? Like an animatronic Bobby? You're 100% certain your workplace has violated about a dozen health code protocols. Probably why I have the runs right now. Take yesterday afternoon, for instance. You had a literal staring contest with a mouse stealing cheese off an uncooked pizza before it ran off, heading for a clear-cut hole in the wall with open access to the counter. Well, that just sounds like really animal-friendly workplace. That's nice. I like... Despite telling the manager about this, the manager demanded the pizza still get served. Yeah, what am I doing? Cook the fucking pizza, idiot. Stop paying attention to the rat. They didn't even opt to throw it out, just argued there was no time and then retreated back to their office. God. And that's not even the worst of the offenses. Most of them were far more disgusting, but you've turned a blind eye each time. Well, not that you got much of a choice. With all this diarrhea, what else could I work? You're steeped in student loans, and this is the only job that accepted you after months of endless searching. So in the end, you've learned to grit your teeth and fart it. You sigh again, letting your head rest against the back of the wooden bench, your head tilted up towards the darkened sky. Chad is just going insane with this, dude. At least the day is almost over. You tell yourself, what more can happen? Someone else can shit my pants. And then you wince because as soon as anyone says or even thinks those words, shit always hits the fan. Oh my god, now someone's shitting on a fan? Oh god, why is there a fan on the bus? You look over at the man standing far away from you. He's shitting in a fan. He's actively ignoring your presence, which is fine by you, since he's probably not going to be the thing that makes your night end up worse because you decided to jinx yourself. Maybe the buses could wind up running late then. This is supposed to be a horror game. Try to predict the terrible luck that'll befall you when you hear harsh and heavy steps. Oh no, he's farting behind me. The panic farts. You glance over. And holy shit, the guy walked toward you is huge. A massive bulk of a man. You need climbing gear just to see him at eye level. He's that tall. Oh. It's intimidating. When he makes a grunting noise, you crane your neck to look at his face, but he's wearing something over it. Oh, okay. He's not that menacing. Like, a mask? Oh, please say this guy isn't the result of your self-inflicted jinx. He's just some party goer, right? Probably with a costume theme, considering his apron that looks like there's a few red splotches. Right on the "you are screwed" alarm starts ringing in your head. Sirens going off left and right, as your brain scrambles and tries to determine whether or not those are actual blood splatters or simply dollops of ketchup made to look like blood. Try to recall if you've seen anything on the news or true crime channels about mass murders in your area. But if you're being honest, the crime rates are astronomical in your city. You live in Gotham. Despite the fact that you're currently near the outskirts, the place is a festering cesspool of criminals, all congregating together in one area, and is not even here is safe. You clench your fists on your lap. What if I'm a criminal? Looking away, you see that the other man waiting for the bus walked off somewhere. Great. So now you're alone with this guy. Well, I mean, ask him for soap. No, we're gonna get crusty with it. The hulking man doesn't say anything as he lowers himself onto the bench next to you. You can hear him breathing. Long drawn-out breaths punctuating the quiet. His involuntary shiver crawls down your spine and you scooch towards the other end of the bench, making as much space as possible between you and the hulking man. I'm having panic farts apparently. And then your brain finally decides to remember the news report from this morning. The body of a 34-year-old man, identified as Raymond Maverick, was discovered strung up inside the gazebo of Winterberry Park yesterday evening by a young woman jogging in the area. Reports say that his You dislodge the thought with a furious shake of your head. And a fart. No, that won't happen to you. It can't. Calm down. Calm down with the farts, man. Because that's... Calm down. It's not even... It's... Come on. Your brief stint of denial gets cut off by the sudden moment out of the corner of your eye. The masked man cocks his head slowly, surely noticing how you stiffened. Your body going rimrod straight and locked into a tight coil of fear and discomfort. You're hard. He's staring right at you. His breathing grows heavier, as though your response excites him. A loud resonant sound inflicted into the silence of the night. You can't even hear the sounds of the city in the far-off distance from where you're positioned. Like everything's frozen in time between you and this man at this moment. I can't help it. Red's forcing me. Out of the corner of your eye, you catch sight of his hand twitching. You finally turn your head towards him, trying to keep your trembling under wraps as you shove your quaking hands between your legs, knowing full well that if he attacks you, you're practically defenseless. What about all the shit I've been dropping? Maybe I can throw some of that. Where the hell is that damn bus? Shouldn't it have shown up by now? He cocks his head to the other side as you hold his gaze. At this moment in time, you really wish you took your trusty old ballistic knife with you as an extra precaution. Why do I own a ballistic knife? But your knife wasn't in any shape to offer protection right now, and besides, you didn't know you'd encounter someone like this on your way home from work. Oh my god. The cherry in your shit sundae. Oh great, a shit sundae. Why is there so many shit references in the game? Oh god. Oh god. Then again, would a knife even bring him down? Would his muscle act as a How stupid is my character, bro? What do you think muscle is made out of, bro? Do you think what are you watching too much anime? Like, bro, you got a knife, it's going straight through. You could take on a normal sized guy, but him jabbing him with something sharp might wind up feeling more like a splinter of toothpick. Excuse me. And you probably wouldn't even reach his vitals if you went toe to toe. Yeah, the best thing you can do is to avoid the worst case scenario. You turn your head away. The movement, junky and awkward. When you turn your head away, the movement, junky and awkward, the pressure of being so intensely watched, making you feel self-conscious about everything you do. This is all going to be in the YouTube video. Don't worry. But Ginger's pausing it, because now it's going for too long. You're seriously considering leaving at this point. I wouldn't leave. What the hell? There's plenty of cheap hotels within city limits willing to let you stay for a night. A reasonable option, and one you're heavily considering. Okay, a dude walks up in a mask. You shit yourself. Your first thought shouldn't be, I wouldn't be able to stab him. Your first thought should be like, oh, want to sit down next to me, sir? That spot's clean. At least until you remember that you've got a list of things to do when you get home that you can't exactly hold off on. Yeah, I need to get rid of some bodies before the cops show up. Doing so is out of the question. Second idea comes to mind as you think about just walking home, hightailing it on the long stretches of sidewalk, your path lit only by a few flickering streetlights. Or it's like, put my kid to sleep. You can handle walking a few miles in favor of big and scary over here, but what if he follows you? Then you're even further away from other witnesses. There is no witnesses. But at the rate things are going, you're not even sure if the bus will show up anytime soon. It's a possibility the bus broke down en route. It's a hard decision to make. That's why I love now, because you can just look up the buses like on the map on your phone. You just see exactly what's going on. Stay here and endure the creepy-looking man, or walk home and risk him following you. Either way, you need to make a choice. Okay? Alright. So, but if he follows me home, like, can he get in bed with me or something? Like... stay, but at the very least, we're gonna stay for now. Create some space between you two. He just wants a hug. You're fine waiting right here. Yeah, we're gonna Giga Chad this. He's creepy and unsettling, but he hasn't tried anything yet. An oddball, but there's plenty of those currently living in the city who pose no inherent harm to others. You convince yourself you're acting over dramatic. Of course. Regardless, you decide to get up off the bench in order to create some distance between you two. Busy yourself, acting like you're stepping away to sort through the inside of your bag, not searching for anything in particular, but using it as a prompt to appear like you're unaffected by his presence. Keep within sight, just in case the bus comes barreling past, when there's a soft creak originating from the bench. Oh, he just wanted to sit down. Then you hear the crunch of gravel, a footstep stepping onto the asphalt, nearing closer and closer still, making you break out into a cold sweat. Crunch. Step. Crunch. Is he eating a granola bar? What? Step. Your hand freezes in your bag. He's headed straight towards you. Sounds of his lumbering approach drawing near. Crunch. Step. He's so hungry. Crunch. How many granola bars is this? Step. You wince at the heavy clunk of his boots, reminded of the possible force he could use against you. His entire body shaped like a weapon built to crush those smaller than him. Crunch. Step. Crunch. He pauses, and you know he's right behind you. The shadow he casts underneath the yellowed glow of the streetlight consumes the entirety of yours, swallowing you whole and making you disappear completely. This feels like the beginnings of a campy slasher movie, yet it's your unfortunate reality. Maybe he just wants to spoon. I guess I could be the big spoon. You want to believe he's a prankster, someone who gets a kick out of messing with strangers. But there's so many terrible people that you've encountered and endured in this world that you can't convince yourself otherwise, despite managing to do so a few minutes before. Because now he's right behind you, and you feel a hand clamp down on your shoulder. The hairs on the back of your neck stand at attention. Ooh, free massage. You say horny, Red is in the chat, okay? You say horny, Red Skull Plays is there. And he's the one horn dogging it up, dude. You let out a small gasp and watch as the masked man's shadow moves, his free arm rising and lifting up while horrific theories of what he's holding cycles through your head. You don't want to stick around and find out. Finally, your brain kicks into gear. Before you can do whatever he's about to do, you dart out from underneath his hand and make a run for it. But bust be damned, you're not staying for a second long- jump scare! You're not staying for a second longer. You bolt towards the direction of the city. Your sneakers slap against the harsh pavement of the cracked sidewalk, your canvas bag banging painfully into your hip. But you ignore the pain because you can hear him. Nice, I got a canvas bag, that's sick. The stomp of boots. You're right to fear him, because now he's giving chase. What is this background? What is this, man? He's eating up the distance between you two. You know he is because of how long his legs are. One of his strides probably matching 3 of mine. What is this guy, 7 feet tall? You refrain from screaming. Why? At least someone can help me. Doing so won't serve any purpose other than making you lose previous amounts of oxygen that you could use for running away from the masked man. Or someone could be like, hey, who's that idiot screaming out there? Not to mention, you doubt there's anyone around to hear you. We're in a neighborhood! Not unless that man who gagged at you earlier is still hanging around somewhere, but there's no sign of him. And even then, he'd probably turn tail at the sight of you screaming and the figure chasing after you, because you know guys like him, and they're not in the habit of helping others, especially when their lives are on the line. He could call the cops. You're alone in this. No, there's 2 of us. The masked man breathes. You grit your teeth as you pump. Grit reference! You grit your teeth as you pump your arms and legs faster. It's pumping time. The cold bite of air while it whips rushes past you and stings your face and cheeks. A splash of something wet splashes against the back of your hand as you propel your body forward with each step, the weight of your body getting heavier the longer you run. Overhead, darkened clouds descend, covering the entirety of the night sky. There's a rumble, and then a streak of lightning illuminating the world as rain begins to pour down in heavy sheets. The change in sudden, you find it almost laughable. It's like you're filling out a slasher movie bingo card. Next thing you know, we're gonna get stripped naked in our bra. What a joke. But you refuse to let the weather keep you from escaping the deranged man who's become even more frantic. He's so much closer now, isn't he? Yeah, I really hear him breathing down my neck. You risk sneaking a glance over your shoulder, as any good horror protagonist would, and scream. He's an arm's length away. Your body's almost within grabbing distance, and there's something in his hand that you can't quite make out within the darkness. It's gonna be like my phone, and he's gonna be like, you dropped this. It's gonna be like my leftover butt plug, and he's gonna be like, hey, this fell out while you were running. The only thing you can see is that the item glints when another violent lightning strike tears across the sky. A weapon. He's got a weapon. You're certain of it now. Turning your head back in the direction of where you're going, you ignore the sharp, burning pain in your side from running so long and hard, trying to at least reach the park to see if you can lose him. Any other path will lead you to a dead end. And your body will end up mangled in a ditch somewhere if you give the masked man an opportunity to corner you. Besides, you're the closest to that area now. Bro started running because he thought something was chasing the both of us? Nah, he just thought we were friendly and we were going for a run with each other. He's like, I got your water bottle. Drink up. Besides, you're the closest to that area now. The body of a 34-year-old man, identified as Raymond Maverick, was discovered strung up inside the gazebo of Winterberry Park yesterday. Please tell me I'm not in Winterberry Park. Stop running, coward. What do you mean? No, stop thinking about that. There's no way the same thing will happen to you. Not unless... Get back here! Man, this guy cannot run and talk at the same time. No blank on sidewalk. Damn. Hands grasp at the back of your shirt right as you catch sight of the park's entrance, and you make a sudden sharp turn to dislodge the man's grasp. It sent him stumbling forward and past you as you make a break for the open gap in the rusted iron fencing. Aw, this is where I lose my clothes, chat. Someone cut a small human-shaped hole in the wires to let people pass through when the gates are locked. You thank those little property-damaging shits since it's small enough size for you, but not the bulk of a 6'8" man that's currently trying to catch up with you. Oh, he's 6'8". Dude, this guy must be so tired. Bro is probably, like, he's bleeding out here, dude. He's bleating. No wonder he can't speak. His lungs are, like, tiny compared to how far he's running. You manage to watch as the man hurtles towards you like a linebacker on a football field and your heart sizes in your chest. Turning your body, you frantically squeeze through the gap. He's gonna knock the fence over, dude. The cut wire of the fence tears into the front of your stomach and you let out a yelp. The rusted wire tearing through the fabric of your uniform. No! Not another he stuck his head in the hole. His head's stuck. You manage to pull out into the other side just in time to watch as the man runs into the fence. You stare at him for a moment, heavy breathing on one side, and him on the other with the one of his hands curled around the wire and the other in his pocket. He's jerking it. It feels like an eternity. And then you turn tail and flee, sprinting through the weeds, choking the landscape of the abandoned park. The broken swing set to your left shrieks in complaint as the wind tugs and pulls, almost sending the metallic chain lashing at your face as you dart past. You hear the clang of a fence somewhere, and you just know he's climbing over the fence, but you can't see him through the curtain of rain despite trying to use your hand as a shield in order to keep the water out of your eyes. Honestly, at this point, hiding I think would have been better. Then you spot the gazebo. No, dude. No. No, I literally ran into his fucking murder house. Oh, God. Oh, dear Lord. Oh, God. This is bad. That's the exact gazebo they found that man, and where they're gonna find me in the morning. You don't hear the newscaster in your head this time, but rather one of your coworkers gossiping to another in the break room while you were scrolling through social media. My sister was on the scene. She said they cut off his limbs. It almost made them look like wind chimes. Wow, that's really creative of a murderer. Wow, I'd like to see that, with how they organized his arms and legs. His torso was in the center of it all. They completely disemboweled him. But imagine the sounds that would make as the wind passed through. Beautiful. You remember hearing the girl say, right as your foot reaches the bottom step of the... Why am I climbing into it for him, dude? What about his head and his hands and feet? Usually they identify bodies by dental records and fingerprints and stuff, right? The other coworker asked around a bite of his sandwich. The memory of his comment asked in sync with you reaching the top step and plunging yourself inside the gazebo. The girl telling the story shook her head. They couldn't find them anywhere, although his DNA identified him because of his past criminal history. Oh, nice. That's good that they identified the body. Her words intermingle. I mean, if we had run literally anywhere, I feel like the killer would have lost us in the rain. Instead, we literally hopped into his murder gazebo. God, I need a murder gazebo. Her words intermingle with the present as something catches your wrist. You scream, piercing the air with violence and terror as your body gets forcibly yanked backwards, sending you tumbling towards the ground. Yeah, I know about his record. Talk about a scumbag. Your elbow bangs painfully against the rotting floor of the gazebo. He went to jail for abusing his wife and kids or something along those lines, didn't he? You stare up at the masked man with wide, horrified eyes, his breathing hard, his fists clenched at his sides, the veins in his arms throbbing as if in anger. He did. And you know what I say to that? Ask the memory of your female coworker right as the masked man slowly reaches behind him, the thing glinting in your peripheral as he draws it out once more. He's totally gonna be like, bro, you dropped your phone. Good. You screw your eyes shut and brace your arms above your head. Riddance. Boom! Peekaboo. Peekaboo. Jump scare? Crack open one eye and see a palm extended to you. A small little bunny-shaped keychain resting in that same hand. Huh? You dropped this The masked man says, a bit breathlessly. He's out of breath. Your gaze goes from the man to his hand, and then back again, and something seems to click in his head. Ooh woo. Sorry. When I reached for you, I almost tripped and grabbed onto the railing for support. But I accidentally drug you back in the process. Here, let me help you up. Bro does not go for runs often. Oh my god, I'm making myself lightheaded by doing this. Officially stun-locked, you let the masked stranger help you to your feet. He then observes the scrape on your elbow. I'm so sorry. He starts patting his pockets before drawing on a bright pastel pink band-aid, helping you put it onto the scrape. Should do for now. He's catching his breath and beginning to form fuller sentences. What just happened? You stare at the masked man with your jaw slightly unhinged before you shake your head and point an accusing finger at him. Wait, so you're telling me that you chased me down like a madman because you wanted to return something? Why didn't you say anything? You scared the living hell out of me. I thought you were trying to kill me, dude. Oh, oopsies. The masked man sounds almost sheepish as he touches the tip of his pointer fingers together as he looks away. Is for me? I tried so hard and got to say something, but you suddenly ran away. I didn't, oh god, realize you were running because of me. Just let this guy breathe for a second, man. Why do you think I was running then? You fold your arms over your chest. I thought you were looking for something in your bag. I couldn't find it. So I figured you were racing to get it. Before the bus showed up, I thought it was the keychain you dropped. It's limited edition, right? He's right. The keychain in question belongs to a show called Little Lucy Lamb's Herd that aired in the early 80s, displaying a cute and colorful cast of, what else? Lambs, who often talked about themes of friendship and doing the right thing. Oh my god, dude, I'm a fucking nerd. Oh my god. Sorry, I'm hydrating. Oh my god. Can I get a stretch check and a hydrate? For the love of God, dude. I'm dying. That's some good stuff, though. Penny, a pink and purple lamb, wound up becoming your favorite despite acting as more of a secondary character. She taught you to always do what you could to help others without expectation of a reward. Wait, actual goated character? Causing you to look up to her example, even now as an adult. The keychain a reminder of that exact lesson. Okay, that's a little sad that your hero is still a talking lamb, but I guess we can't all find heroes in real life. You wonder if that's what the masked man was thinking too, as he chased after you. Finally, you nod to his question and clench the keychain in your fist before putting it into your canvas bag for safekeeping. Stealing glances at the masked man as you do so. Despite the mask, you can tell by his body language that he appears anxious, if not a little shy. Peg him? What? I'm not going to do that, you sicko! I'm gonna give him 20 bucks, dude. And what is he gonna do for 20 bucks, chat? What would you do for 20 bucks? Can I ask you one last question? You say at last, and he jumps a bit, as if surprised you addressed him. Then he nods, the movements quick and eager. Before on the bench, why were you staring at me? He fidgets. He He touches his mask, playing with the zipper for a moment. That's so me. That's me, man. Before dropping his hand. I was staring? He asks, having fully regained his voice. No more long, drawn-out breaths. You just stare at him, your expression patient, but tired. You did go into a full-on sprint on the way here after all. Not to mention, you had a long day at work. You hear him swallow, the sound of reverberating inside his mask. Ugh. Oh, I'm sorry. I just thought you were pretty, and it made me want to sketch out the design for a new mask. He mumbles a little under his breath, voice soft and sheepish and filled with embarrassment as he gives the rotting floors a slight kick. Looking at you kind of inspired me. I haven't felt that spark in a really long time. A mask? When this guy plays with his zipper, it's cute, but when I do it, I have to leave the premises or the cops will be called. Geb? What zipper are you playing with, Geb? What child zipper are you playing with? Excuse me? A mask? Wait, is that why? You meet his veiled gaze and point to his own mask. Yeah, I made this one. They make me feel more comfortable when I wear them, because when I usually have my mask off, I can't really... Never mind. Too real, dude. He toys with his apron, and you realize the splotches of red are likely from some sort of dye he used when creating his masks, possibly even when sketching, or from his job at the butcher, where he murders people. The masked man wrings the fabric around his fingers. Now that your heart's finally settled and things have calmed down, it hits you that, while socially awkward and somewhat misguided, you see he's not really a bad guy, and you probably missed your bus. It's actually kind of sweet how above and beyond he went to try and return your keychain, which is valuable and hard to replace. Considering you recognize my keychain, I'm taking it you're a fan of the show? The masked man perks up. Sorry if you hear me breathing through my mouth, by the way, a lot. I'm sick and my nose is completely clogged. I'm not bitching about it, but if you bitch about me breathing through my mouth, I'm going to find you and I'm going to sneeze on your face. The masked man perks up. He's doing subtle hops on his feet, now vibrating with energy. Just like my dip. I have all 10 seasons on VHS. I sometimes rewind the segments with Darla, since she got really creative with crafts and making elaborate costumes. I always wanted to become a costume designer when I was a kid. Wow, that's actually really cool. Did you know Darla was never actually supposed to make an appearance in... He cuts himself off mid-sentence. That's me, dude. Someone lets me talk about one of my interests? Oh my god. Cuts himself off mid-sentence. Looks away and rubs the back of his neck. Sorry, I tend to prattle on. You blink at him, and then your gaze softens. I didn't say anything, chat. I don't mind. I actually like learning more about the show. He's practically brimming with joy, and you can feel it pouring out even with the mask on. He's so cute, dude. You know what it's like, having to silence the things you like simply because someone said something negative about it, or looked at you weird. I think everyone can understand that. Really? Are you sure? I wouldn't say it if I didn't mean it, you say. We can talk about it on the way back to the bus stop. Hopefully we can still catch it. By the way, you say as you make your way out of the gazebo, I never did catch your name. Excuse me? Excuse me? Why did he unzip? Well, at least he unzipped his mask and not his pants. The masked man hesitates a moment, all bashful, as if he's considering something, and you watch as he brings his hand to the zipper, drawing it up a little to reveal his mouth. Oh, he's so wet right now, chat. It's... Theodore. There's a shy smile playing on his lips, then he quickly zips the mask back down all the way again. It feels significant. And you think back to what he said a few moments earlier in regards to the mask he wears. They make me feel more comfortable when I wear them, because when I usually have my mask off, I can't really... Never mind. Yet despite whatever reservations he seemed to hold about taking off his mask, he unzipped it. Just a little. You don't know why, but a quiet smile finds its way to your lips. Oh, that made him all happy. As you and Theodore make your way back, he takes his apron off and uses it as a makeshift cover for the both of you to huddle under in order to avoid the onslaught, holding the fabric above his head. Wow, that's so cute. That's very cool, dude. Shares factoids about little Lucy Lamb's herd that even you didn't know about. Because he's a big fat nerd. No, I'm kidding. He's cool. Theodore looks animated as he talks, his hand expressive as he gestures around, like it's the first time anyone's ever given him permission to just be himself. This is like me when someone talks about Pokemon, dude. It's kind of adorable. When you reach the bus stop, you arrive at the perfect time, the bus pulling up right beside you two. I regret to say this is also me when people talk about Nemle games. I'm like, I'm the Nemle guy. God fucking damn it. On the way home, you and Theodore exchange numbers. I'm like the only person who's played all the games, dude. I'm dying. And when you get off the bus, he waves at you through his spot next to the window. He set himself as Teddy in your phone, and there's a smile playing at your lips as you stare down at the name, already seeing a text from him with a few bear emojis. But then you catch the whiff of a coppery scent, the trail leading straight to the bathroom at the end of the hall, causing you to stiffen. You place your phone into your back pocket and drop your bag. It lands with a heavy thud in the quiet of the house. The silence, despite the ongoing storm, feels unnatural, no sounds coming in. Excuse me, is there another murderer in my house? Or out? You finally make your way towards the bathroom. Oh god. The hallway feels so long and tedious to walk down as your heart hammers against your chest, violent and all-consuming. Your hand reaches for the doorknob and pauses. You give yourself 1 second, then 2, before you open the door. Ah! And are greeted by a mess of blood and gore. Some of the blood dried along the lip of the tub, and other pieces too thick and concealed. Wait, I said I had to make it home. In time. What did I have to make it at home in time for? The stench is overwhelming, and you slap a hand over your nose. This is much worse than the vomit. Your eyes drift towards the small square sink where a name tag rests, and you force yourself to breathe through your mouth as you step inside, picking up the small square tag. Raymond Maverick. Oh my god! I'm the murderer! Manager. The cute blue bunny that doubles as your job mascot holds balloons in the corner, crusted, blood-arced along his pink nose and rosy cheeks. This is the entire reason you needed to get back home. You couldn't put off getting rid of the rest of the evidence since you're sure law enforcement will start digging into your manager's death, and if they find any trace of him or suspect you of killing him, you're done for. You always hate cleaning up after your messes. You don't exactly enjoy killing people. You enjoy murdering in the bunny suit. You don't do it for the power or the high, or because you saw it as some sort of sick fantasy. You do this because putting an end to people like Raymond always proves necessary for the pain they cause to those around them, putting an end to their cruelty when the law refuses to. I am the murderer, chat! You loathe people like Maverick. They bring out the worst in you, and you wield that burning hatred towards them like a weapon. It wasn't even the rumors at your job that alerted you to his abusive behavior, but something you witnessed in the parking lot after you'd just gotten off of your evening shift, watching as a small SUV careened past you. You grind your teeth as you remember what he did to his wife in the front seat, watching as mascara ran down her— Am I a fucking white knight? One of his hands tangled in her hair, while the other gripped the steering wheel of the car. The veins in his neck pulsed and throbbed, his face entirely red with rage, and their child was in the back to witness it all. You knew right then and there you didn't even need to research this man's background. You were going to fucking kill him. And so you did, doing what you had to by flirting with him, just enough that he didn't even hesitate when you secretly asked him over to your house. That's really fucked up. Never mind, he deserved to die. Bro deserved to die. I hope I put on the bunny suit. The act disgusted you, but you reminded yourself that you'd soon bear fruit. And you did. It was all too easy. Better yet, he feared getting caught since sleeping with an employee could get him fired, so he laid low on the way over. At first he tried getting handsy as soon as he opened the door, but you managed to shove a beer into his hand before he could pry your shirt off, and then let him inside, waiting for the opportune time to strike. Why didn't I just fucking stab him? Like, as soon as he walked through the door, I'd be like, yeah, come on in, bro. Slice. He downed a good portion of his beer in a matter of minutes, not even processing the odd taste, as he tried to wait out the effect of the drug in the bathroom to avoid him touching you again. When you came back, you could see him trying to get up and off the couch, but stumbling. In that moment, as his back remained facing you, you went haywire. Your bodies tumbled to the floor as you charged at him, burying the blade deep into his back, relishing in the bastard's screams and his feeble attempts to crawl away. Well, hopefully I don't have neighbors. His wails of pain and anguish were slurred, and he asked you over and over again why you were doing this, unable to comprehend why anyone would bring him harm, and desperately pleading for help and someone to come and save him. But no one could hear his cries, because your entire house is soundproof. Not to mention, you live far out of the city for this entire reason. Oh, he's not our first, chat. Using the complete solitude in order to avoid any potential witnesses. You felt his body grow weaker and weaker as you plunged the blade into him over and over and over again. You were lost in a fervor. A crescendo of emotions at an all-time high as tears streaked down your cheeks in empathy for his wife and child. Die! 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 The word repeated itself in a vicious cycle through your head as you tore steel through flesh. You didn't stop until you realized his body had gone cold and he lay limp beneath you. That's when you cracked it. You were breathing hard as you pulled back, letting your head tip back as you soaked in the moment of relief after doing what you set out to do yet again. People like him always asked, why? Why are you hurting me? What did I ever do to deserve this? None of them self-reflected or repented or begged for forgiveness for their previous actions. You aren't a senseless killer. You have your reasons. The people who wind up on the receiving end of your knife are terrible people. Simple as that. From domestic abusers to sex traffickers to those who torture animals. They end up on the receiving end of your ballistic knife. I knew it! I knew it! When he said my ballistic knife wasn't around, I knew. Who fucking has a ballistic? Maybe a pocket knife? Maybe, pepper spray? Maybe a brick in the purse? Who has a ballistic knife? Fucking murderer, dude. Of course, it's the same one you couldn't bring with you today, since it's still covered in DNA evidence from yesterday. Not to mention the authorities are no doubt looking for the thing, so it's within your best interest to keep this thing squared away for safekeeping in order to avoid any suspicion from coming your way. Usually you try not to have any connection with your victims, but after seeing what you did, you couldn't help but want to take down your bastard of a manager. Now he's 6 feet under. Actually, no, he's in my bathtub. Because of that, his wife and kids are free from his constant abuse. The downside? He's your problem now. You sigh as you turn towards the tub. Yeah. No. That's a problem for later. Because no matter how many times you've done this, which is well into the double digits, you always get queasy at the sight of so much gore. The only reason you can handle it during a kill is because of the adrenaline coursing through your body. Otherwise, you want to hurl just like the customer who ruined your uniform did. You go with knife cleaning first and let the water run over the steel of the blade, imagining a hopeful future for your manager's kids and wife, where they didn't live in fear of constantly making the wrong move. Instead, they're probably going to go homeless because he was the only sole provider for the family, wasn't he? Innocent people deserve protection from the monsters around them. Innocent people like Raymond's wife and kids, and Theodore flashes through your mind. Also, by the way, that's not... Dude deserve to die. I'm just saying, man. This is why you don't just do that, though. Maybe let the authorities handle it, Theodore flashes through your mind. Yes. You're certain he's gone through pain because of someone who took advantage of that innocence. There's no doubt people like that in his life who continue to do so. Ooh, let's start getting closer to him. Let's ask. You want to protect people exactly like Theodore. Those scars, the ones underneath the mask that he revealed to you in that vulnerable moment, weren't scars left behind by an accident or birth. They were intentional. You glared down at your now clean knife. You're determined to find out who made them and end their existence. Because keeping people like him safe is the good you choose to do for the world. It's unconventional, frowned upon, disturbing. But you're determined regardless to find and eliminate every vile stranger you can find. They said the title! And then they ended the game! Wow, it's been a while since a game did that, actually. Wow. I didn't expect it to be so much of a pure visual novel of vile strangers. I'm assuming if I just break out and run here, it's the same thing, right? Like, screw this, you're walking home. You have to travel home by foot rather than staying next to this freaky stranger any longer. Pulling yourself up on the bench, you avoid eye contact. You listen out for footsteps as you move away from the bus stop. But after a few minutes of walking, there's no sign of the odd man pursuing you. The echo of footsteps only coming from your own worn-out sneakers. You sigh with relief. Okay, wait, maybe we'll read this and then we'll talk about the game, okay? The night air is brisk, a cold chill on your skin. Above, storm clouds gather and merge, sure to bring in an oncoming storm. Oh, maybe this is the good ending. Thunder claps over, or the bad ending, I guess, because we don't make a friend. You frown as water begins to pour from the sky, adding in another obstacle to your trek home. Then, a twig snaps and you freeze. Did the man follow you after all? You hesitate a moment before turning around, searching through the darkness for any sort of masked figure, but find no trace of him or anyone else. Swallowing hard, you force yourself to try and get rid of the paranoia as you continue your way down the empty streets. But for some reason, every little sound sets you on edge. A deep-rooted fear of something lurking in the darkness, ready to spring at you when the moment presents itself. Imagine those strung-up body parts belonging to Raymond replaced with your own. Wait, I just realized, they found Raymond's body parts, so does that mean I just had, like, his head or some shit in my bathroom? Cops literally said, so no head? You imagine those strung up, okay, replaced with your own, your body hollowed out, like the guts scraped out of a pumpkin. Also, the character, they literally said I'm not a psychopath, but then I did that. I feel like that's psychopath behavior. I feel like if it was true that I'm just some hero in the night, I probably wouldn't, like, disembowel the guy and, like, leave his corpse strung up like a goddamn barbarian would. A shudder runs through you. You don't consider yourself to be a terrible person. You're literally Batman if he disemboweled and tortured his victims and left them strung up for the cops to find. In fact, you even try to return some good to the world in your own way. But others would argue against the good you do. Oh, okay, so this is a way bigger hint that you're a murderer. Maybe they go even as far as... Your thoughts are interrupted as you hear a slight dragging sound appear behind you, but no one's standing there. Did you hear wrong? Frowning, you glance back to the road ahead before your gaze lands on something standing off in the distance. A vague human shape. You recognize the businessman from earlier. Wait, this is completely different. Wait a second. But what's he doing here? As you begin approaching him, you feel as though something is not quite right, an uneasy feeling spreading throughout your gut. For some reason, he's staring in the direction of your house, which you can see off in the distance. He remains immobile, despite the ongoing storm. You can't even see his chest rise and fall as he breathes. It's creepy and unsettling. You're starting to regret your decision to walk home. But you're almost there, so you might as well just shuffle past him and try not to make eye contact, or encourage any sort of attention. Am I an idiot? Dude, what is wrong with me? Someone's staring at your house and you're just gonna walk past them into that and say, hey, that's my house. Nice, ain't it? Walks in. Like nothing's gonna happen, dude. What? You're relieved when the businessman doesn't react as you walk by. But then you realize something odd. In his breast pocket, a wilted red rose peeks out, and you frown at the sight. Why would a businessman have a red rose sitting there? They're not romantics. Then again, maybe there's some plausible explanation and you're just looking too deeply into things. But right as you pass him, you feel something clamp around your wrist, and as you look over your shoulder, you see the man staring at you with a hardened expression. There's something familiar about his face that you can't quite place. Like you've seen him somewhere before. But before you can react, something sinks deep into your gut. You gasp. It burns. This is completely different. The man then shoves you back and you stumble off of the sidewalk and into the middle of the street, holding your stomach as you try to process what's happening. When you drop your hand, you see it's stained with blood. As your gaze meets the man's again, he takes out the wilted rose and tosses it towards the front of your feet. You look down at it with confusion. Right before you hear the blaring horn of a bus. Bus-kun? And your body is pulled under and crushed beneath the bus's wheels. Your entire body pinned beneath the hulking steel. As your world turns dark, all you can ask is, why? Bad end. It's probably just like someone's husband that I murdered. Okay, well, I'm gagged, dude. What the hell was this game? This was really good. I knew the developer was an interesting developer. I haven't played their other game, but it's pretty popular, like yandere game. This is like crazy. It was made for a game jam, so it's made really quickly, so hence why it's kind of short and there's not many drawings, but it was really good. I'm not, well, I like the bad end, don't get me wrong. It's so out of left field that it kind of doesn't mesh well, because when you pick the other option, I think it kind of explains itself in that, like, it's clear that the guy, you even mentioned that you kind of recognize them, and they left, like, a rose, so maybe they're, like, some kind of murderer, or maybe they're, like, some kind of, like, prior victim, like, one of your victims, like partners, or someone that knew a victim of yours, getting revenge, whatever it might be. It just kind of comes out of left field, that other ending, right? Like, and then Bus-kun kills you? Not even Truck could? Like, I mean, it was good. I liked it. The Bus-kun ending. And then the other ending is you made a friend. And you hid the body. So, I mean, I guess that's good. I guess that's good. I liked it. The game's pretty good. It's only an hour, but that's fine with me. I'm sick, so. Thanks for putting up with my breathing through my mouth. Thanks for putting up with my sniffling. My nose is clogged. I'm sorry, guys. Yeah, I liked it. I liked it. For a game jam, this was really good. Maybe some more dialogue options would have been nice, or some better backgrounds, some better, more like just pictures, you know. But honestly, the words were beautiful. Like, I think this was written really well, and you know, I think I think a lot of people got really immersed in it. He knows his clock. No. Oh, God, Geb. I think a lot of people got really immersed in it. Maybe chat went a little crazy with the fart jokes at the start. I think they was pretty funny, but it went on a little long, so I had to pause that so they wouldn't keep going with it. But I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you liked the video, if you made it this far, you know, maybe drop a comment, you know, maybe drop a comment saying something like you love the farts, or no clock like horse clock. That's an old reference. But thanks for watching so much. I really appreciate it. If you like this video, leave a like, you know. It helps me out a lot. And consider subscribing, because we have a lot of videos like this on the channel, and I'm sure there's more to come, you know. Yeah, I really appreciate it. We're almost at 10K. We hit 9K today. That's freaking awesome. Let's go! Chat, thank you so much to everyone who's subscribed. You guys are awesome. Every day I'm like amazed that people are subscribed to me, period. I know I'm not like some big YouTuber, but like, to me, this is crazy. Like, just a few months ago, I was at like 300 subs, you know? That's like kind of insane to me, you know? Like, I was getting like 2 views on a video, like, and I just kept going. I didn't give a shit. I still kind of like, it's the same mindset that I don't really care, but thanks a lot. I really appreciate the fact that there are people that are watching is amazing to me. So anyways, thanks. I guess, one last time. Have a good one. This has been Clock. See you next time. Peace.